What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH USD. It is the 9th day of November today, and here we are sitting at about $3,500, you guys. We got 7 hours and 26 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Ethereum showing some life right now. And there's a couple different ways that you can look at this, and it's fine either way, but I think that we are going to prevail to the upside. But, you know, some people might take the bearish stance and say, well, we're finding resistance right now at prior support. I think it's a bit preemptive to say that we are finding resistance, but sure, yes, there's a wick right there. Sure, we did pull back a little bit from there. There's reasons enough to be bearish with that, but I'd raise you and say that we're bullish because we actually just broke out of this consolidation phase. We just broke out of this ascending triangle, didn't we? We just made the breakout with above average volume. It was above average, right? The histograms, these little wispy lines, that's average. The fact that you closed just above there, it's above average volume on a breakout candle tells me we likely don't stop here. So while, yes, we do have resistance at this point where we found support before, where we found support back here, it likely doesn't uphold. It likely does give way and we do pursue higher prices. If you hear a 3-year-old screaming, that's just my daughter. She's pretending to be a dog or something, I think. I don't know. $3,700 right here. Prior resistance there. Prior resistance there. Kind of support there. That makes sense. Maybe what we do over the coming day or days is we go up here, we consolidate a little bit, and then we continue pushing higher. But I would think we push higher. I do think, obviously, at this point, this is the low. I don't think that we move lower from there. It's possible, and anything, we should keep our minds open. We should keep the idea there. Hold on, guys. Let me just hold on. I think she heard me call her out, so then she's being louder just because it's fun for her. But I asked her to be quiet. She's like, "Yeah, I'll be quiet." $3,500 right now. Where was I? We're moving up. I think we're at the low. Even if we go lower, we likely don't spend much time there, and we'll likely have a very voluptuous reaction afterwards. So I don't care, right? A lot of people are euphoric here. They were depressed here, and then they'll be depressed if we're down here. They'll be even more euphoric if we move up. I don't care, right? I'll be euphoric when Ethereum's at new all-time highs. We're just waiting. Until then, who cares what we do in this little play range, this little sandbox? We're moving up. All paths take us higher. They absolutely do. If we're looking at this on a 1-hour time frame and then zooming out from there, okay, looking at the 1 hour, you've got this little bit of a setting triangle that you have broken out of volumes coming in, right? No volume at all, and then volumes coming in on the breakout. We love to see that. You're consolidating a little bit right above where you found resistance before. Perfect structure. Looks great. RSI is overbought, not getting oversold. We love that. Stochastics look bullish, and the MACD found support at the 0, trending higher. We love it. All good things all at once, everywhere. 4-hour time frame, the RSI looks productive as well. You've got these higher lows and higher highs, right? You're kind of at this point where you might expect to find resistance, so come down. So if we consolidate, you know, it's the rest of the day. We've got about 7 hours left. If we were to consolidate for the rest of the day here, that's fine. We can move up tomorrow. We can move up the next day. We can consolidate a little bit. That's fine. You know, typically when the MACD does cross above the 0, for whatever reason, on the 4-hour time frame, just the 4-hour time frame, when the MACD crosses above the 0, that's whenever we get these phases of consolidation, right? Let me just show you. Right, the MACD here crossed above the 0 on the 4-hour. That should be a good thing, but then we started to consolidate. We moved up higher afterwards. Here we're moving up, right? Crossed above the 0, you started to consolidate a little bit before, a little bit after, and then you moved up higher afterwards, right? I wouldn't be surprised if with this, you know, we consolidate here as the MACD's crossing above the 0 for like a day or so, and then we move up higher afterwards. Typically, you consolidate for like a day or 3 for whatever reason. And I say typically, it doesn't mean it has to be this way. There are times where you cross above the 0 and the price action just pops off. But typically, with this cross, you would expect 1 to 3 days of consolidation. Consolidation doesn't mean you're moving up or down. It just means you're consolidating, right? Like here. You aren't moving up or down, but at the same time, you're doing both at the same time, right? You're just moving sideways. The stochastics look good, the RSI looks good, the MACD looks good. Again, there are some suggestions that here you are ready to consolidate, but maybe you push a little higher first. Maybe we get a push to about 3,700 and then we start to consolidate, but somewhere between here and there, I would think. And then sometime next week, we should push to higher prices than that. This consolidation should last a day or 3, being that we're at a 7 hours, 21 minutes left in this week. We have a full week ahead of us. I would assume that not only do we consolidate for a day or three next week after this push, but we probably push higher afterwards. Therefore, I theorize here, $3,500 right now, by the end of next week, which next week's end is on the 16th, by the 16th of this month, we should be above $4,000. We should be above 4,000. Now, that's the easy call. We'll easily, I think, be above $4,000, but we could be at 4,200. Maybe we're all the way up at 4,800. It's hard to say. It's kind of a given range up here of possibilities, right? And there's reasons to find resistance at every single stop in between. There really is. There's all kinds of reasons going back in time, right? If we look at this here, there's plenty of reasons right here at prior support, prior resistance right here, right? Prior resistance right there, resistance right there, support right there, resistance right here, support right here, resistance right here, resistance right there. There's plenty of reasons throughout this whole entire circle of like $4,000 to $4,800 to find resistance. Okay, but ultimately next week by the 16th, I do expect that we are here, that we're in this range of 4,000. Let's say 41 to 4,800. Okay, that's my expectation. Looking at the liquidation map for Ethereum here over the past, let's say 30 days. The shorts outweigh the longs, but just by a little bit. This is actually a low level of leveraged positions for Ethereum over a 30-day time frame. Like 3 billion in longs over 30 days, 4.5 in shorts. It's actually pretty low for Ethereum. The longs have it on the 7-day, and the longs have it by far on the 1-day, right? They have it by far. This is some of the lowest levels of leverage that I've seen, right? Liquidity really is gone from the markets. It's the weekend, but also the government shutdown. We're anticipating the government shutdown might come to an end. Maybe that's why we're pumping, stuff like that. But all in all, you guys, enough of my shenanigans here. I do think that we're going to move up higher. I do think that we're going to see new all-time highs. And ultimately, Ethereum, going into the end of this month of November, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were closing at new all-time highs, if we closed above $5,000 by the end of November. Certainly you'll be above $4,400, but I would think that we're around, if not above, our all-time highs going into the end of November. And then going into the end of the year, I anticipate that we will see prices anywhere from about $7,700 to $10,000 by the end of 2025. Maybe $8,000 by the end of December, maybe $10,000 by the end of January. But something in this area nonetheless is what I'm expecting. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I just want to get on here and say that, we're breaking out of this little low end here. Anybody who's bearish right now, maybe you'll be rightfully bearish. We'll know that, everything that I've said as far as going up, it's wrong as far as timing goes. It'll be right inevitably. And inevitably, we are going to move up. All those things are going to happen. But let's say we move down. If we close below 34.50 on a 4-hour or a daily time frame, if we close below there, not wick below, but close below there on a 4-hour or daily time frame, then I'm wrong. And perhaps this is a fake out, and perhaps we do come down for a double bottom or a slightly lower low. And in which case, again, that's fine. The amount of time spent down here will be very short, and we will just do all the bullish things that we just talked about in this video, but at a later date, like a few days later. But that's something to be aware of, right? It's nice to be bullish here. It's fun. It's exciting, right? But 34.51, if we break below there, I would say that we probably do run the risk of either returning to these lows or going through them. Okay, something to keep in mind there amidst all the bullishness. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. I just keep thinking in my head here. I want to share it with you guys. It's just like, this has been one hell of a bear market, you guys. This right here, this is one hell of a bear market, isn't it? People are crazy, man. They're crazy. They're desperate. They want cheaper prices. People think that we're due for pain. I think the same. I think we're due for pain in the markets, but they think that pain means dropping. Whenever everybody sells or they're not fully allocated, they've taken losses and they're waiting for lower prices, what's going to cause more pain? Bringing the price down for them or pumping without them, right? It's going to cause more pain to go up. Anyways, or like Arthur Hayes says, I think it was Arthur Hayes, he said, forgive me for saying this. Maybe it was Ansem. I think it was Ansem. He's like, forgive me for saying this, but wouldn't Max Payne just be moving down straight for 50 years? He's like, I think that'd be Max Payne. I don't think we're going to see that, though. I think too many people want to buy crypto. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. I should have ended the video a few minutes ago already. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. It's weird how much hearing I have right now with this hat off. Whenever it's here, my voice is so much louder, like right here. But now I feel like I can hear everything. I was unaware. Anyways, take care, you guys. Bye bye.